I think I've had this affinity with Mexico since the first time I came here in 1991. You know, I've been in the paddock for a long time, and the passion of the fans here, and just the incredible energy there is about it. And now, of course, the way the stadium section works here at the track, this is one of those races I look forward to every year. It's an interesting question. I think it's the warmth and the passion more than anything. Also have to ask myself why I've been on holiday to Mexico so many times. You know, I think from the first time I came, it's so completely extraordinary. The environment, the experience, the lines and lines of fans queuing up to come into the circuit, the cheers, the atmosphere. It's like the Colosseum. Do you know, I'm glad to have been on the whole journey. So, you know, I came here in the early 90s, nearly the whole of F1, because we were such small teams. We all stayed in the same hotel near the airport. Going out, going to nightclubs was quite an experience when I was younger here. But now looking how the circuit's developed, the money that's been put into it, the passion there is. Everywhere you look, it says Formula One, you know. I'm staying in Reforma. Everywhere in Reforma, people are wearing team clothing. And there's an energy about it. And it's something that I think makes this event unique. Firstly, on a personal level, I really, really like Checo, and I got on tremendously well with him. I enjoyed working with him at Red Bull. I described him as indefatigable, which means that he just always seems to find, every time when you think you can write him off, he finds a new energy, he finds a new purpose, a new direction, he reinvents himself. I think as a driver, he was largely underrated. He did a great job, you know, especially in the early days of keeping up with Max, and that was quite special. I'm looking so forward to having Checo back in the sport, you know. Also, I look forward to having more conversations with him. It seems like a long time since we last spoke. We messaged each other quite a lot, actually, and I'm really, really pleased and happy for him that he's back in Formula One. I think it's been interesting because we operate in this cost cap environment. The team's based in the UK at the moment. I understand elements of it in America, but they're taking a lot of people from other teams in England, you know. It's like the meritocracy in Formula One is changing a little bit, and I think if I was a UK team, it's had quite a big impact on the staff and the recruitment process. I think people are interested. Many people are taking the next step up to join that team, and look, there's an energy around Formula One, and I think it's been a positive thing for the sport. I think having worked at a very big team for a very long time, a team that every weekend you go to the track expecting to be in a position to win the race and looking every year to fight for championships, I knew very much when I came to Switzerland, when I came to Sauber, that there was a challenge here. But what made this move for me really exciting was to have the opportunity to work with Mattia Bonotto on the technical side of the company, and to split our operations, to run the company side by side, with me in the more traveling role, commercial communications, the racing operations, and Mattia to bring together chassis and powertrain. And this for me was a fantastic modern thinking structure that Audi had come up with. And we're making small steps. There's no huge quick route to get from being a team that's been fighting in the lower midfield for a very long time to becoming a team that fights at the top. We're on a journey. So the journey, you just have to measure each step as it goes along. And at the moment, I think success for us looks like continuous improvement in every area. You know, the teams that we're fighting against, they're established. You know, you don't just beat McLaren and Ferrari and Red Bull like in 1 year because you become the Audi Formula One team. You know, it's interesting because the partners that we have on board, like Revolut, for instance, they're on the same journey as us. And it's exciting having those conversations because they need to beat the top banks. They need to smash through this layer of the top banks. They're on the same journey as us. So I think it's all about measuring each step of success along the way and continually improving, you know, getting the best out of what we have and bringing on new talent into the business and growing as a team. I firmly believe in giving youth opportunity, yeah. And I think diversity is also a major pillar in our sustainability drive. And if you talk about sustainability, of course, that means bringing new talent into lower levels in the business, training it. And then you have people who understand what Audi Formula One is without having to employ people from other teams. And I think it's a great story for the team to be promoting internally. I think it's about the culture and the environment within the team. So if you introduce young people, you promote people, you have a young team of people knitting together, you have to create the right environment for performance. And we're all about performance. This is what we're here to do, is to perform on every level. And you make mistakes. If you push the envelope, if you push outside your comfort zone, you make mistakes. So you need to have an organization as well where, okay, we made a mistake, I can put my hand up and we can learn as a team and move forward. And that's the team I want this to be.